Happy Wednesday! I'm here with a video that's a little bit different than the typical Wednesday videos because this video is going to show how I am using green screen in my sessions across all ages and how it's become pretty much my go-to for everything. Sometimes it's not a magical adventure. Sometimes it's just the same thing that we would be doing in person, which is, work. We've got to do some work. So I just wanted to show you all what I'm doing that has been successful for me with the green screen and some things that we might not expect to see on the green screen that are really nice to have behind you when you're working with families and when you're working with your kids. So let's do it. If you all are using visual schedules with your kids in in-person sessions, the one app that I am completely addicted to is Choiceworks. Choiceworks is an awesome app. I'm afraid to show the whole thing because I have my kids' names on it. But Choiceworks is just an awesome app that you can create your schedules for your kids. And I like to take screenshots of those visual schedules and put them as my backgrounds. So I will have a screen grab of our schedule. Let's say that we're going to be doing bus and feed the animals in a book today. So I will take a screen grab of this schedule and we're going to work through the activities. And then every time we complete one, I have another slide that's going to put things into the all done. So let's say we did Wheels on the Bus and we needed to sing that, and then we'll put that into all done. And I just slide it over and now that's done. And now what are we going to do? Feed the animals. Go and do the Feed the Animals activity, which is an app on the iPad, and put that into all done. And now what do we need to do? Read a book. And I just like to take screenshots of each of these, and that way I don't have to keep screen sharing my iPad, which slows down my connection time. My kids respond so much more when I'm big and in the picture and the things are next to me or something that I can reach into, which is like our visual schedule and the worksheets I'm about to show you. You can do your worksheets like you would in person and put those as your background versus sharing it as a PDF and annotating on it. And I want to show how I would do that. So what I like to do, let's say we're doing another mommy speech therapy page and we're practicing the y sound. What I like to do is have my kid work through the worksheet with me, and I might have, some printables that we can practice doing. Your watermelon is yummy. And then we'll work through the whole worksheet doing your apple is yummy, your burger is yummy. And we'll just walk through that whole activity, which is a great way for me to be able to take data because this is just a classic worksheet. I know that we have 6 attempts or 5 attempts, and out of 5, how many times did we get the Y sound in a sentence? And that way I can I'm just jotting, taking data while we're going through it. And as you can just pull up worksheets, do a screenshot of them and work through them like you would in person. Another thing that I like to do is use some of my resources that I've already had forever that are saved onto my computer and put those as my backgrounds. Like for instance, Peachie Speechie's R, I can say the R sound. I like to use her worksheets that I already have and put them as virtual backgrounds. So for this type of activity with some of my R kids, I might ask them to pick an animal. Do you want the horse or the pig? And they'll pick horse, let's say. And then we're gonna take the horse and he's gonna ride down to practice the sound. So we'll go, hooray, really good. Okay, do you want pig or duck? Pig, okay, let's do pig. We're gonna go, hooray. And we're just gonna get these items to stick to each part, and that's how we know we've completed it. But this is just a way to be motivating, but I'm interacting with the screen, and I've had much better luck using manipulatives and a worksheet than I have with using screen sharing and then annotating on top of these worksheets. This has been way more successful for me, and my kids are more motivated because I'm in the screen, and I can also give clearer visual cues to help target sounds that we're working on. You can also do really nice big images for your articulation. This is also from Peachie Speechie, and she has these great visuals for practicing those sounds. I just screenshot this image and then put it as my virtual background, and then I can have my kid imitate the sound with me. And when we're practicing words, I might pull out some Artic cards and have, taking data, but have this visual behind me just to keep them reminded on what we're working on. So that is just another way that you could use the green screen behind you. I also like to pull up some boom cards that I already use. And the reason that I would do this instead of actually pulling up the boom card is when my kids have low internet connection. So using green screen allows us to have better connection and less freeze time because I'm not trying to add extra bandwidth by sharing an online activity. If I keep it as a virtual background, then we don't freeze as much. So if you all have clients that are frozen all the time because they have really bad bandwidth at their house, then this is a great alternative. Put this as a background, and then you can still practice some things like boom cards that you might not be able to because the connection activity is sort of slow. It's also a nice way for me to be able to interact and give cues. When I get small, because I'm screen sharing, I can't give as many visual cues. And I've found that my kids are more responsive when the image is behind me. So this is from Type B SLP. This is her describing pictures activity. And we can work through what is this? Cat is an animal. And we can say it has, and then I can point. I really like to be able to point. That's another huge piece of the green screen that I can't do when I'm screen sharing is I can't use my index finger to point and use that nice joint attention where I'm looking back at the object and then looking back at my client with my index finger. I really like to be able to model this, and it helps gain their attention to the images. So thanks, Type BSLP. I love these activities and I like these images. They're really nice for the green screen. Another thing I really like to use the green screen for is early intervention sessions where I am doing primarily parent coaching. Sometimes what I like to do is pull up our 25 speech and language strategies and have my parent look at the screen and also maybe look at the resource if I've given it to them. And we can walk through some activities that they might have in mind where we could, add one word. And I'll use my arrow just to kind of show and emphasize where, what we're talking about and what we're working on. And they seem to respond really well to this. And it just gives another visual input for families in case they might have not remembered that strategy. They can refer back to it because it's on the screen. So I just like to use anything I can to help build my parents up and show them more clearly what strategies I'm referring to. Sometimes I might even take these strategies that are small here in these boxes, type them up, screenshot those and pull that one up big where it might just say add one word behind me. And that's what we're working on that session. And it's just a good visual reminder for them. And there you have it. Those are just some of the ways that I really like to use the green screen in less adventurous and magical ways, kind of straightforward, using worksheets and materials that I really would rely on in person, and putting them behind me allows for my families and my kids to stay more engaged and for the internet connection to not be such a factor in our teletherapy success. So I do hope that this was useful for you all, and I would love to give more information about how my sessions go, but I also don't want to make a video that's too long and lose you all. So I'm going to stop it here, and I hope that it was helpful. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.